because of the wide range of affiliates, I think regardless of kind of what industry you work in, there is a space for you. I think one of the problems I've seen is a lot of brands go into affiliates, they give out a load of 25% discount codes, they don't really see the incrementality, they've given away a load of margin and they kind of think, oh, well, it's not very good. And I think if you're going to go into affiliates, you have to kind of fully understand what do you want to achieve out of it. Yeah. So if you're after brand awareness or you want loads of really cool content sites to write about your new products, go down that avenue. I think one of the good things with affiliates is you are in charge of the people you work with. So if you don't want to give out discount and cashback, you don't have to. You can just work with content sites. If you want some really, really cool cutting edge tech, that's there. And, you know, like things that like increasingly are, you know, pushing that forward. So I think, yeah, it's just kind of having that full understanding of when you go into affiliates, like what do you want to use it for?
So from the brand perspective, how do you think about tiering versus different affiliate types and really trying to match product to particular affiliates?
Yeah, I think we're quite lucky at PLT. We're quite a data forward business, so we've got a lot of data, and then obviously working with attribution now, we've got even more data. So we kind of look at individual affiliate types, and sometimes we even go down to individual publishers. And if there's someone that performs particularly well upper funnel, but maybe isn't seeing those last click conversions, maybe we'll give them a bit more, maybe we'll put some tenancy behind it. So they still get paid at the end of the day. They still feel like they're getting some out of the relationship, but also we're benefiting hugely because they're driving new customers into the funnel. Whereas if there's someone at the end of the funnel that maybe we think, you know, they do help with conversion, but maybe they're not driving a huge amount of incrementality, we might negotiate a different rate with them just so we're kind of, you know, we're not impacting our margin too much, or I don't get shouted at by my CFO kind of thing. I think it's affiliates is one of those ones where you have to put in the effort and you kind of have to build relationships with almost all of the publishers you work with. And once you get into those relationships and stuff, that's kind of when things start to happen. But yeah, it can be daunting, and I don't think there are many people that could start an affiliate program next week and it just go up and running. It does take a lot of time and a lot of planning.
So Jess, you've obviously crossed both sides of the world, platform and agency. What products have you seen, or goods and services have you seen work really well?
Yeah, I think it kind of goes back to the diversity of publishers and the reach available to advertisers. It allows for almost any brand, no matter their niche or sector, to be able to find a relevant database to work with. And obviously we aren't limited just to cost per acquisition model. The channel also supports like subscription-based cost per lead and fixed fees to allow working with influencers as well and the lead generation email partners. But I think almost anything with a transactional digital site can work in the affiliate space. For example, a huge one that can't at the moment is Primark, because obviously they've not got like a transactional online site, which is definitely more challenging when it comes to tracking in-store activity, because we're bound by sort of their capabilities as retailers and tech. But I think if they're set up with offline to online tracking, you know, it's not impossible. The ones that I would say are more challenged, sort of working across big affiliates to get approvals, would be the likes of B2B, as like many sites are geared up to serve sort of B2C content. And also anything with legal restrictions, such as like tobacco, CBD and gambling products. They're like always worth checking sort of over any ASA guidelines around the marketing and age restricting. I think that's sort of, they're the only ones that really spring to mind of being a little bit challenging, being publisher side as well, that we'd sort of get approval on. But yeah, I think B2B space is possibly one that could be sort of more emerging and something that's a bit of an opportunity within affiliates to grow more.
So we'll pick up on the influencer point in a few minutes. But Shri, what are your top tips? What products have you seen work best, possibly apart from some of Lee's?
Yeah, look, I have to agree with what Lee and Jess said. I think, quite frankly, you know, if you step back, if you've got an audience of your own for a traditional affiliate, if you've got an audience, most things are going to work. But you're going to naturally see consumable goods or goods that are lower price lower value are going to shift more than super expensive, and I think possibly the others please agree with me or disagree with me. But if you look, the volume of goods sold, if they're normal priced, they're going to shift easier, and therefore there's going to be more. So less of the luxury, and more of the normal AOV type items. So the 10 to 100 pounds will shift more in volume. But quite frankly, it could be anything. And from an increasing standpoint, we work with any retailer as long as they sell a variety of products online. So it's kind of independent of what vertical in retail.
So more direct response and sort of consideration, stroke awareness, premium type things. John, not sure if you're coming on that?
Definitely, that's true, definitely.
I think I agree with everybody. I also think sometimes the luxury end of the market, because it is lower volume, tends to shy away from it, and because they're nervous about their brand. However, because it's on a CPA basis, and if the average order value and the margin is high, you don't need a huge amount of them to prove it works. So, and again, you can control where you publish. I think that's the bit people think is difficult. It's you can choose how you do it and who you do it with. So I do think a lot of the large super luxury and higher end luxury are missing out on this channel because they're nervous about it. But it's still very valid for them. But I do agree that the lower value, more consumable stuff seems to be where the volume is.